Hi, René here. I apologize for the long break on this channel, but the bearing of my German 15,000 euro turntable was defective and I could not use it for making new videos. Now the problem is solved, but it was a hard and long way. In order to avoid a boring report and to make it more entertaining, I turned appropriate portions of the affair into satirical or cinematic movie clips wherever it was possible. This is the story from ordeal to happy end. In order to polish the whole device, I removed the platter from the base. As you may have seen in my previous video, A Polishing Fairy Tale, the sphere in the spindle fell out of its cavity, but I could glue it back in with the help of Loctite glue. To check the result of my repair, I gave the platter a very strong and in fact self-deceptive push to achieve the desired rotation. When I really wanted to play a record, the string could not move the platter a fraction of a millimeter. It just slided around it and finally fell off. Many months before, I already had to help with a shove of my hand to overcome the inertia of the 25 kilo mass to a point where the motor could maintain the speed of the already moving platter. But now the motor failed completely. Rien ne va plus. What had happened? In this photo here, you can see the reason why. The ruby anti-friction layer was reminiscent of moldy red jelly. The sphere had, courageous like Ironheart, removed the layer and heaped it up somewhere at the wall of the cylinder. This explains why the platter was decelerated more and more up to the point where it could not be moved anymore. The friction was too intense. I ordered a new bearing from the German company. They confirmed my order in the most friendly manner, but in spite of many emails, and 2 telephone calls, they never sent the spare part. No explanation, no excuse, no suggestions how to solve the problem. They only confirmed that my order had arrived. They seem to have entered into a state of Cold War. I had no other way than bringing the case into the public eye by uploading a video in my German channel, René's Klangwelt. Thus, I declared war from my side. I explained what had happened and made some provocative suggestions on how to use the aluminium scrap of my 15,000 euro device. The video had more than 3,000 views and convinced the company it was better to react, and they immediately sent me a new bearing for free. After 2 months of uncertainty and anxious waiting, the spare part was shipped on January the 23rd, traveled about 9,000 kilometers, and on the 27th, UPS delivered it to my door. Fortunately, the bearing has even been improved because the latest version comes in 2 parts with a screw in the middle so that it can be serviced. We see once again that Darwin was right and evolution also happens in high-end parts. Now let's take a look deep down inside. The bottom of the old bearing looks muddy red. The new one on the right side sparkles in delicious ruby red. I hope I can enjoy many happy years with Lady Ruby. But this can only happen when Ironheart does not sabotage the bearing again. Thank God the grievous void could be filled, and in a second you become an eyewitness of the historic moment when it was closed. It was locked with these 3 screws. Life is so easy sometimes. I wanted to delay the climax, and in spite of the prickling temptation to install the 25-kilo platter as the final culmination of the process, I decided to sleep one more night and to glory in joyful anticipation of the rotating, majestic platter. That night, however, I had terrible nightmares. Again and again I was dreaming of spheres and of spheres all over again. Some were breathtaking in their beauty, but others were instilling fear on me. They were not perfectly round, showed strange scars, structures, or cracks. Dripping with sweat, I woke up. I thought this was a warning of destiny and called the high-end police. An investigator should examine the sphere on the spot. Well, in reality it was not quite as bad as in my nightmare, but there were some tiny suspicious spots. And I dashed to the computer to consult the owner of the company. He answered on the very same day, "You can use the sphere without concerns. Of course, you can also buy a new sphere from us." Quite naturally, this spectacular procedure has been recorded, and I hope it will pass into history. And this is the test I have been yearning for.
Stop it here. That's good.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Do not approach the lot area. Do not approach the lot area. Please stand by for further instructions.